Hey guys, it's Hannah and this is Bookworms Talk, and today I'm going to film my August favorites. I'm going to try to run through this pretty quickly because I have a lot of favorites, mostly books actually. This is like the first time in months that I've read more than like 2 books in a month. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 books. That's crazy for me lately. Normally, well, I say normally, like 2013 me, that was like the usual, maybe more, but current me, yeah, not so much. Most of these are from the same series, so I'm just going to, run through quickly. First one I'm going to mention is Living Dead in Dallas. I have a review for this, actually for all of these, but one of them is to come. I read this really early in the month. I went through it really fast. Yeah, I don't know, not much to say about it. I'll have my review for it linked, and you can watch that. And then I read Club Dead, which is one of my favorites of the series. This is the Sookie Stackhouse series by Charlaine Harris, if you're not familiar with them. It's what True Blood is based off of. Really loved this. I think it's my second favorite in the series, and my number 1 favorite in the series, very close, they were almost tied, is Dead to the World. I can't tell you summaries about these because it spoils the rest of the books if you're, interested and whatnot, but this review will be coming up very soon. I'm not sure if I'm going to put another book talk up between them just to give like a different thing other than just this series for book talks, because I know not everyone reads the series. And I did read another one. I read Dead as a Doornail, but I didn't really like that one, so I'm not including it in my favorites. And also another one that I'm not including in my favorites that I read was Smother by Lindy Zart. Lindy Zart. Now I'm going to talk about my Netflix and TV favorites. It's mostly just a TV favorites and it's like DVDs that I own. This month I started rewatching True Blood. This is season 1. I mean, can you see a theme? I'm very into vampires right now. I'm craving fall and one Halloween here. But yeah, I started rewatching this. I think I'm halfway through it. I got Corey to start watching it too, so that's exciting. And yeah, so that's just something that I've been watching. And I am still watching Parks and Rec, but it's slower going for me. Like, I'm not powering through it like I used to do. But I guess earlier in the month I really was. It's just more of a currently I'm not. Okay, now TV. These are 2 things that are still on air. Actually, The Whispers will be off air by the time that this video goes up. But so I'm going to talk about that first. The Whispers. It's a TV show. It has Lily Rabe, Mila Ventimiglia, Barry Sloane, like all names that I'm very familiar with. And so that's what really enticed me to watch the show. Mostly Lily Rabe, though. I mean, and the summary is going to sound so hokey and stupid, but it's so much better than what I'm about to make it sound like. There are these children who all are hearing the same voice. They have this imaginary friend called Drill. And Drill is kind of like an alien. It's not a physical alien. You don't see it. It only kind of shows up on heat signatures, and only children can hear him. I don't know a lot of details about him, and yeah, it's about to be the season finale, and I still don't know all that much about him, but I kind of love that I still have mystery, and it's not like, oh, we know who it is, okay, or what it is, and now we're going to, I don't know, kill it or something. So there's still a lot of mystery. My other favorite is like my reality trash TV. I only watch like 2 reality trash TVs. I watch The Kardashians and Big Brother. Big Brother is my favorite for the month. I have just been really, really into it. In the beginning, I thought, oh, these house guests are really boring. People don't know what Big Brother is, Hannah. Describe Big Brother. Big Brother is like this competition where 16 or so people are put into a house together and they have like no access to the outside world, no games. I don't even think they have any other books except I think maybe they let them have like the Bible or the Book of Mormon or something like that. And they do various competitions in order to win the head of household, which is the person who can evict another house guest from the house. So the HOH nominates 2 people for eviction, and there's a lot of like lobbying, and it's very like kind of reminds me of politics. It's just like, no, I can do this for you and I can take you to the final whatever, but basically the winner gets $500,000. So crazy good money, and I think second place gets some kind of amount of money. I did a very poor job at explaining that, but it's really complex, and I recommend looking it up on Wikipedia or something if your interest is piqued, but I highly recommend it. It's pretty easy to follow once you kind of get the hang of it. And for Netflix, I actually did watch one thing on Netflix this month. I watched Mona Lisa Smiles. It's an old movie. It has Julia Roberts in it. I don't even think it's that old, but I love Julia Roberts. I watch movies just because she's in it. And I'm like, how did I see that? And so I watched it the day before I started classes because, yes, university started up for me. And actually, hey, I'll tell you guys now, I switched to art history as my major. It was my minor for a while. But then I had so many English credits that it made sense for me to make my minor English. So then I was journalism for a little bit, and then I'm like, I don't like how my school is set up and the teacher that I have to go through because... So I switched to art history, which is another passion of mine, so it's not like I'm downgrading by any means, but it was just a lot of obstacles, and so I think I'm where I'm going to be. I haven't lost any credits or anything, I'm rambling, but yes, so I'm art history, and I watched Mona Lisa Smiles, and it made me all excited, and I'm like, yeah, this is confirmation that you decided to watch this movie right before classes started up again, and it's about this woman, I think it was back in the 50s, where she's an art history professor at this really, really prestigious school, like she just transferred in there, and it's sort of like a finishing school, but like more about education, but it's also like how to be a perfect wife and what happens if your husband's boss is invited over for dinner and then he invites 6 other people. Like, what do you do? You're being tested as a wife. And she's basically kind of what the modern day woman is what she is. She's very liberal in mindset and not conservative, and she's trying to teach these girls that you can be more than just a wife. Like, you can be your own person. You can go to law school if you want and stuff like that. So it's kind of just teaching them to be very empowered. Now I'm going to talk about my physical favorites. First one up here.
See if I can do this without looking. Nope. Yeah!
This is the pumpkin spice candle. It's by Ashland, and I found it at Michael's. It was only $6. And this is like the size of a Yankee candle. Yankee candles are like $30 a piece. Even more than Bath & Body Works candles, which are expensive. And this smells better than my Bath & Body Works pumpkin candle from last year. It smells like you would expect pumpkin spice to smell. It doesn't smell too sweet. It kind of reminds me of my candle that I got from Target. I don't remember. I bet if you go back into my October or November favorites that I definitely mentioned it. Hope I didn't bump the frame. I also started using Makeup Geek shadows. And I got a little Z palette with them, but I want to talk about 2 colors. There's this color called Bitten.
I don't want to get my fingers dirty.
And it's this really pretty reddy brown, but mostly red, kind of like a burgundy color I would describe it as. I like barely had any on my finger just then. All right, there we go. So that's kind of what the color is. And then when you blend it out, it gets like, here, I'll show you. That's just like what I had left over my fingers. Then you can get like that kind of color washed over the lid. And it's really pretty, and it's like, it's just warm and red and rusty. I would say it's a rusty color. And then there is Burlesque, which is just kind of a sheeny-er version of Bitten. Bitten is, I would say, a matte, and oh man, this one's really pigmented. So they're quite similar colors, but this just has a little bit of like a purpler sheen to it. These are horrible swatches, but they're very popular shades, and if you just like search into YouTube Makeup Geek Burlesque, you will find hundreds of reviews and like tutorials using these colors. I really love them. And all of these are pretty much makeup favorites, so if it doesn't interest you, sorry. But I picked up the LA Girl, LA.
YMCA.
Okay. LA Girl Lip Paint Glazed. This, oh god, what shade are you in? This is in the shade Daring, and it's like a really purpley Barney kind of color, and that's what it looks like. I don't know how else to describe it. It goes on the lips a little bit more sheer, and I hate the applicator, but the formula itself seems nice. But yeah, I just thought it was a really cool purple color, and I think this was only around $4 or $5, which isn't bad, and it's supposed to be like a really good dupe for the Too Faced Melted Lipsticks. And then quickly moving along, I started using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, and I have the shade Taupe. I'm wearing it right now, but it's midnight, and I've been wearing my makeup since way early today, and my makeup, I'm sure, is looking really, really pretty. Really pretty. It's a really hard pencil, and when I say that, that's a good thing. So that's kind of the color. It's not too green and it's not too yellow. If you are blonde, you understand my struggle with finding like a good shade for brow pencils. And I feel like this looks like pretty close to like my root color, and so I'm really, really happy with it. And it has a little spoolie on the other end too, which I love. It reminds me a lot of the Anastasia Brow Wiz. Another favorite is a brush by Real Techniques that I picked up. What is this one called? The Domed Shadow Brush. It's just a really big, domey, fluffy brush. I can use it just if I'm in a really big hurry. It's like a lavender color all over the lid. Just go. And it's a really good blender brush also. I use it for pretty much everything, and I bet if you wanted, you could use this for concealer. And then my last favorite is the Maybelline Better Skin Concealer with Avec sort of like salicylic acid, but it's not. It's supposed to be like an acne treatment. I really only use it under my eyes. I haven't noticed that it's dried it out, though I do have dry under eyes. Oh, this is in the shade 10 Ivory, and it actually is light enough. I can't even explain to you how often it is that they're like, oh, brightening concealer. And I'm like, oh, that's like my skin tone. That's not brightening. This actually is brightening. And I really like the formula of it, and I've been digging this lately. I am going to tell you a couple of poetry favorites. I do have a quick confession. I didn't put up my poetry favorites last month because I turned into a little bit of an emotional wreck. I was having a bad month last month, and then my poetry was reflecting it, and then I was trying to explain myself, and it turned into a cry fest, and I did not want to put that on the internet, so that's why I didn't have one last month. I did film an entire video, and I just could not upload it. This is from Robert Holden. Your relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship you have. Be kind to yourself. Remember that your journey is your own. Don't punish yourself for not having accomplished as much as X person at age 16, 17, 25, or 40. Their journey is not yours. Your journey is not theirs just because they are doing more than you are at this moment in time or at that moment in time. It does not mean that you've wasted your time. You have had different experiences, circumstances, and opportunities. It is not a matter of fault on your part. You will get there day by day, no matter how long it takes. That was from Anonymous. And then this one is from Rudy Francisco, which I've actually found like a newfound love for the poet. I follow all of his stuff on Instagram now. And it goes, perhaps we should love ourselves so fiercely that when others see us, they know exactly how it should be done. This is from Paulo Coelho. Do something instead of killing time, because time is killing you. This is from David Mitchell from Cloud Atlas. Travel far enough, you meet yourself. This is from Susan Sontag. Do stuff. Be clenched. Curious. Not waiting for inspiration's shove or society's kiss on the forehead. Pay attention. It's all about paying attention. Attention is vitality. It connects you with others. It makes you eager. Stay eager. This is just a random ass post from Tumblr. The reason I like staying up late so much is because between the hours of 1 a.m. and 5 a.m., the world is quiet and no one expects anything from me. I could stare at my wall for 4 hours and there would be no consequences. It's so silent and calm. That is from Bisexual Bucky. Not Becky, Bucky. Like the beaver, but not spelt the same. So not like the beaver. But just to remind you guys, I am reviewing poetry on Right About Now's channel. It is still a YouTube channel, so you should go over there and subscribe so you don't miss where my videos come up. I'll probably still occasionally do some kind of poetry over here. There is a book talk on Clementine von Radix's, Mouthful of Forevers. The footage was so corrupted and I had half of it edited and I think I might have figured out how to fix it. So that review might still happen and that'll still go on my channel. But I have lots of other poetry stuff going up over there. So I don't want you to miss it or think that I stopped doing it because I still am doing it. I'm just doing it over there. And I think that is about it. That's all I have to tell you guys. And I will see you later until next time. Bye.